It's a beautiful hot summer day. The waves are crashing against your boat and the seagulls are ecstatically chirping as you sail back to your colony in the new land. You are brimming with excitement to see your family and new baby granddaughter after waiting for 3 long years. Finally, you reach the colony. You and your companions walk to the settlement and search for the residents. But to your dismay, you find the ground hasn't been walked on, the beds haven't been slept in, and silence takes the place of your granddaughter's giggling. This is what happened to John White in August 1590. The colony of Roanoke heavily impacted multiple perspectives on the settlement of America, and its disappearance played an important role in America's colonization. The lost colony of Roanoke is one of the most famous unsolved mysteries in American history. England wanted to set their first permanent colony in the new land, America. They called the colony Roanoke, and it was settled in a part of what is now called Virginia. John White was the governor in charge of the colony. However, he had to leave during the settlement of the colony in 1587 due to the Anglo-Spanish War. When he came back, he found that the entire colony of 115 people had vanished into thin air. Poof! Including his daughter Eleanor White there and his granddaughter Virginia there. They left nothing but the word Croatan carved into a wooden post and the word Crow carved into a tree. Croatan was the name of a Native American tribe near the colony. The mystery is yet to be solved, but different clues found over the years might be the key to solving it. Before the colonists voyaged to the new land, Native Americans already lived there. The colonists had a mixed relationship with these people. They considered the Croatans, a tribe near them, their friends. When John White looked at the post with the word Croatan on it, he said, "I greatly joyed that I had found a certain token of there being a Croatan, where Menteo was born." He meant that he was happy that his colony might be a Croatan island, where his friend Menteo was born. Menteo was a Native American who was brought to England and baptized. The colony's relationship with the Algonquians, another tribe, wasn't as jolly as this. The Algonquins were supplying the colonists with food, but they weren't happy with this job, so they decided to stop. When the colony heard of this, they killed the Algonquian chief, Penny on June 1st, 1586. To avenge their chief, the Algonquins murdered a colonist, George Howe, John White's closest advisor. Spaniards could have killed the colonists too. They did not like the fact that England was also colonizing America. By colonizing America, England could bring Protestant religion to the new land, which was against Catholic Spain. Of course, Queen Elizabeth I, the ruler of England at the time, was a huge supporter of America's colonization. However, afraid of the unknown, some English people were hesitant to colonize America. But once people saw that the new land was full of benefits and resources, the idea became more popular. Coming back to the mystery, one of the clues to solving it are the tree rings of the bald cypress trees in the area. They revealed that a major drought happened between 1587 and 1589 during the settlement of the colony. This wasn't just any old drought. This was the driest period in 800 years. Adding this to the fact that the colonists had trouble with food, the drought could have caused the colonists to leave, or maybe even die. Dozens of artifacts indicating the presence of the colonists were also found in both Hatteras, Croatan Island, which is 50 miles from the colony's site, and Salmon Creek, North Carolina, which is 263.2 miles from the site. This means that some colonists moved inland while others journeyed to Croatan Island.
So it's not unlikely that one group might have gone up the Chesapeake towards the Chesapeake, up the Albemarle, but I'm pretty confident that one group at least, and probably the substantial part, come out to Hatteras Island.
Another clue significant to this mystery are the Dare Stones. The Dare Stones are a series of 48 stones found over a period of time from 1937 to 1940. They tell the tale of the colonists' treacherous journey. However, it was discovered that the stones were forgeries. Our biggest lead was just a big sham. But no, the first Dare Stone was discovered by someone different, a tourist. The first Dare Stone was examined again. The writing on this stone was far more authentic. And when the stone was cut open, it revealed a bright interior while having a dark exterior. This meant that the stone had weathered, as it should have for existing for more than 525 years. The only thing is, the stone was signed with the initials EWD, which is presumed to be Eleanor White Dare. But in the 16th century, it wasn't normal for someone to sign with their initials. The failure of Roanoke not only led to the disappearance of 115 people, but it led to the destruction of a relationship. The tension between the colonists and Algonquians created a small crack in the relationship between Native American and English people, which largened over time. Native Americans have lost 99% of their original land to Americans. They used to have 2.7 million square miles in the contiguous United States, but now it's only about 165,000 square miles. It wasn't all failure though. England's second attempt at a permanent colony, Jamestown, was in 1607. By learning from their mistakes, England learned how to make sure Jamestown succeeded where Roanoke couldn't. Many books and stories are inspired by Roanoke too. For example, the Lost Colony play. In addition, modern-day Roanoke made $1.3 billion from tourism alone in 2022. What can I say? The people love a good mystery.
It's the greatest mystery in the history of America. A tale of adventure, drama, and struggle. A spectacular production performed on the very spot where the story occurred. The Lost Colony comes to life this summer.
The colonists and Native Americans interacted with each other both positively and negatively. However, neither of them even thought about race. Later on in history, there would be a huge conflict between two groups, black people and white people. White people exploited and enslaved black people just because they were different races. Throughout history, humanity has viewed diversity differently, but no matter what, diversity is what gives this world color. If differences are a lens that blur your view, you won't be able to marvel at this world in all its magnificence.
Sun, I feel you touch me in the pouring